Hi, I'm Joseph Rand with HomebuyerTaxCredit.com, your leading resource for information about the homebuyer tax credit. At our site, we get a lot of questions from people about the deadlines that are fast approaching and what those deadlines mean. So we want to put together a video that discusses the deadlines and also gives you 7 ways to make sure that you meet the deadlines so that if you're eligible, you can claim the homebuyer tax credit. So just to review, the deadlines are very firm. You have to be in contract by April 30th, 2010, and you have to close by June 30th, 2010. So you have to both be in contract by April 30th, close by June 30th. And those are hard deadlines. There's no squishy room. You can't close, oh, we had a delay, so we closed on July 1st, or something happened, something cropped up. It doesn't matter. That's a hard deadline. Your HUD-1 closing statement that you're going to get at the closing of your purchase is going to firmly indicate what the date is that you closed, and the IRS is going to want to see that document before they give you a tax credit and they honor your claim. So you have to be in contract by April 30th. You have to close by June 30th. Now, what are the 7 ways that you can make sure that you're ready to be in contract by April 30th and close by June 30th? The first is this. Get your team together. Go out and choose your realtor, choose your lender, get your attorney, get them all in place right now, even while you're still looking for a home. Now, maybe you're already working with a realtor, and that's great, but have you already sat down and gotten qualified with a lender? Do you have that lender on call so that when you do find your home, you can start the paperwork immediately? If you were to get a deal done and you're in a state where they use attorneys, you should have an attorney now. Have the attorney on standby. Get your team all together. Have them together now, because you don't want to be waiting for attorneys to call you back in 3 weeks and days are ticking off the calendar, getting closer to those deadlines. So that's number 1. Number 2, make sure everybody knows what you're doing. You'd be amazed at people who, when the last tax credit deadlines were coming close, the realtors or the lenders or the attorneys wouldn't even know that people were thinking of claiming the homebuyer tax credit, so they weren't on notice and they weren't working toward that deadline. You have to let everybody know that you're planning on claiming the homebuyer tax credit and that you need to be in contract by April 30th and you need to close by June 30th. So make sure everybody knows about it. Number 3, start gathering your documents now. The single greatest delay in getting into contract, or once you're in contract, the greatest delay in getting closed, are documents that your lender is going to want to see from you in order to give you a firm loan commitment. Now, those documents could be old pay stubs. It could be letters from your former employers. It can be anything. You'd be amazed at the things that banks want these days to give you a loan. So start gathering everything right now and call your lender and say, hey, listen, once we get into contract and once I've got a loan application, what kind of documents are you likely to want to get from me? So let me start gathering them now. If you need them and you don't have them, that's terrible. If you have them and they're sitting around and the lender never asked you for them, well, no harm done. You wasted a little bit of time, but it's a lot better to put the time in now and not have to put it in later when time becomes much more precious. Number 4, and this all is in following with what we've already been saying. Be proactive, be aggressive, be on top of everybody to make sure that they know that you have to be in contract and closed on the deadlines, but also be in touch with them, be in constant communication. Don't wait for them to call you. Call them. Go and fix problems before they come up. Don't let problems occur to you. And then number 5, keep open lines of communication with everybody involved and make sure they're communicating with each other. Make sure your lender's talking to your real estate agent. Make sure everybody's talking to the title people. Make sure everybody's talking to the attorney. Make sure they're in touch with each other and that they're all working towards your common goal. And then number 6, no matter how good you are, no matter how proactive and how well you foster communication on your team, there's going to be last-minute stuff that comes up. There's going to be last-minute delays. So whatever you do, don't work to the deadline. Don't be one of those people that, that the night before the term paper is due, you're at 2 a.m., you're in the library. You don't want to be the person that is struggling to get a document and it's April 29th and you have to be in contract tomorrow. Or somebody where you get a call on June 28th that your lender needs some pay stub from an employer that went out of business a year ago and you can't find them. There's going to be last-minute delays, so be prepared for them. That's why you want to be proactive, but also clear your schedule. try to schedule your closing and your contract signing well before the deadline, because you know what's going to happen is when we get toward the end of April and we get toward the end of June, all those real estate professionals that you're counting on, there's other people counting on them as well. So they're going to be under a lot of stress and a lot of time pressure. So if at all possible, try to aim to have your contract done by April 15th. Aim to have your closing done by June 1st, so you have some leeway and you can still make the deadlines. And then finally, number 7. And this may sound strange. Choose your seller wisely. Now, for the most part, you're not buying a seller, you're buying a house. That seller's going to sell the house, he's going to be gone, you're never going to deal with him again, or her again for that matter. But as you're right now negotiating your deal and working out the various things that come up in a negotiation, be aware of what your seller is like. Make sure your seller knows that you need to be in contract and close on the dates, and get a read on whether your seller is going to be cooperative or uncooperative, because although you don't have to live with the seller, you do need the seller's cooperation to get in contract by April 30th and close by June 30th. And so if you are choosing between two houses, I would never say don't buy a house because you don't like the seller, but the fact is it's one of the qualifications that goes into when you buy that house. If you're looking at trying to be in contract and close on those deadlines, you're going to need a seller who's cooperative, not a seller who's going to be difficult throughout the whole process. So that's just one of the things that you want to consider. So those are the ways that you can make sure that you meet your deadlines, April 30th and June 30th. Good luck with that. If you have any questions, go to homebuyertaxcredit.com or post the questions at homebuyertaxcreditblog.com. We'll be happy to answer them. And of course, before you ever make any decisions about buying a home, talk to your accountant. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.